Hi, Sophie here, and today I am talking about the Fasting Mimicking Diet, or the FMD, and whether it might be right for you. Okay, so there is a lot of talk about the Fasting Mimicking Diet, or Fast Mimicking Diet, or even FMD. So what is it? So it is similar to fasting, where you would eat close to nothing, only mimicking because you are eating during it, but you're eating in a very, very specific way, which I'll get onto in a minute. Now, let's first talk about whether fasting is healthy to do in the first place. Well, meta-analysis of all available evidence-based science tells us that fasting actually is a natural and beneficial thing for human beings to do. Some kind of fasting. Natural because probably our ancestors way back in time were subjected to periods where there really wasn't very much food and they couldn't really eat, certainly not as much as we eat today and as regularly as we eat today. But the science shows us, the evidence shows us that fasting in one form or another, basically fasting meaning calorie restriction, can lead to improved health biomarkers, so improved health from the inside out and longevity. And that is very black and white and pretty exciting, which is why the idea of fasting is very interesting to me, but the idea of a fasting mimicking diet is even more interesting to me because I'm going to be honest with you, there is absolutely no way that I could eat nothing for even a day. No interest in it whatsoever. Plus, I will say that for the most part, a lot of the fasts out there, whether it's a water fast or even some of the juice fasts, are just not safe. And they're especially not safe when they're not done under medical supervision, which is what happens a lot of the time. So the first thing that I want to say at the very top of this video, before I even get on to talking a little bit more about the fasting mimicking diet, is that whatever kind of fasting you decide to do, if you decide to do it, you really need to run it by your doctor or your medical professional. You have to, because you know, if you have heart disease, there's lots of different contraindications, you know, low BMI, particularly if you're on medications, you need to be really, really careful. So now I've got that out of the way. We've decided, not we've decided, but science has decided that fasting is really beneficial. So let's just talk a little bit more about why it's beneficial, or the specifics of why it's beneficial. So again, we look to evidence-based science, and it tells us that the things that can be dramatically improved, the biomarkers that can be dramatically improved, are number one, something called IGF-1, which is what I talk about quite a lot, because IGF-1, and you can determine how much IGF-1 you have in your blood by blood test, by lab work only. But IGF-1 is a biomarker for inflammation, and inflammation directly correlated to your risk of cancer. So ideally, you want your IGF-1 levels to be very, very low, or as low as possible. So when we do a fasting mimicking diet, the evidence-based science shows us that this biomarker for IGF-1 goes down. Also, bad cholesterol goes down. There's also something known as stem cell regeneration. So basically, when you're doing a fasting mimicking diet, everything is regenerated from a very, very deep down level. Even the mitochondria, which are the little factories in every cell of your body that make energy, you know, after a while, after a long lifetime of stress and maybe not the healthiest diet, they can start to sort of lose their fire and burn out, which is why you experience a lack of energy. So a fasting mimicking diet can really sort of help nudge everything back into full firing condition. The other thing that is really interesting about a fasting mimicking diet is weight loss, but healthy weight loss. So unlike diets, very restrictive diets like, the ketogenic diet, which is entirely unnatural, we've ascertained that fasting in some form is natural for human beings to do, but something like keto is not, because you're basically trying to hack your system. You're forcing your system to do something that it's not really supposed to do in order to lose weight. But conversely, when you're doing a fasting mimicking diet, you're basically going to lose unwanted pounds if you need to, as a byproduct of a deeper health condition that is happening inside of you. So all of the above check my boxes for something that is a really healthy practice. Now, let's discuss exactly what a fasting mimicking diet is. So it was developed by Dr. Longo, Dr. Valter Longo, and he wrote a book, and I'll put a link in the description to this video, called The Longevity Diet. A wonderful book. I recommend everybody reads it, but he's a very smart man, a great book, and he's done a massive amount of research in this area. And so he sort of developed this idea of this 5-day FMD diet, and it goes like this. Day 1, you are consuming round about 1,100 calories. And then days 2 through 5, you're consuming about 800 calories. So it is a calorie restriction fasting diet. Does that make sense? So unlike fasting, where all you're doing is having liquids, this you are eating, but it is calorie restriction. That works for me because, as I've said before, there's absolutely no way that I could eat nothing. So it is a comfortable, safe, and effective way of fasting. Thank goodness this has come along. Now, not only is it the calorie restriction, but it's also the very specific macro and micronutrients that you're going to eat. And there is a very specific ratio of carbs to fats to proteins, and also ideally that you're going to have the micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals and such that you really need to nudge your entire physiology into this optimum health condition, if you like. So Dr. Longo developed this eating plan, and I'm going to show it to you right now, and it is called ProLon, in this big, huge box that I've got right here. And I happen to think that this is a pretty amazing thing and very, very beneficial. So basically what it is a 5-day meal program that is sent to you in a big old box, and I'm going to unbox it in a second, close up, so you can see what's in it. So it is quite pricey, but my big but with that is that you pay now or you pay later. And I really strongly believe that. When we are talking about significantly nudging your health from a cellular level into a different state that could ensure better health for years to come, I think it is worth it. I would rather go without some things and have this sent to me. And the reason why, excuse me, I'm just taking a little sip of tea. The reason why I would have this sent to me as a meal program is that it's a very, very tricky thing to do on your own, to DIY it, to get the exact amount of calories in the exact macronutrient ratio and to add the nutrients. Really, really difficult. And even for me as a holistic nutritionist, who as you know, I make everything from scratch. I'm really into my DIYs. But this I would definitely, pause at. I would prefer, particularly as it's something that you want it to be supervised by a medical professional. Well, this has been created by scientists and medical professionals in a very, very specific way. So, I feel safe the moment I'm sort of, involved in something like this. So even more so because, and I'll pop the link in the description to this video, And when you click on the link, you're going to have to fill out a medical disclaimer and answer some questions to see if it is right for you, if you can actually do it. So ProLon takes your health extremely seriously. So there are contraindications, and you'll find out what those are, but that you have to really pay attention to that, so much so that when you sign up, you get a free nutritional consultation, which is fantastic. So you get sent the program, and it's basically done and done. That's it. You get going with actually quite a delicious whole food, plant-based 5-day meal program. So let's dive into the box right now and have a look. Okay, so you get your box, and as you can see, there's 5 boxes in there, clearly labeled 1 through 5. No guesswork there. So let's just unpack box number 1, day 1, which would be our 1,100 calories. So let's have a look at what's in this box right here. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing here is tomato soup blend. These are really easy. You just add water, heat them on the stove top, or if you're traveling in the microwave. Then we have a super minestrone blend soup. Sounds pretty delicious. All really healthy ingredients. I've had a very good look at all the ingredients in this. We've got some olives here. So again, really leaning on the whole food version, because as you know, olives are a whole food, whereas olive oil, as delicious and as much as I love it, is not. It's processed, but I do still enjoy it. What have we got here? Oh, we've got kale crackers. They look delicious. This, by the way, you can't be allergic to nuts for ProLon, because a lot of the foods have nuts in them, this is it here. There are these bars that look so delicious. Looks like it's got healthy fats in it, a little bit of honey, so not for strict vegans. Oh my gosh, look at this one here. This is the Choco Crispy Bar. That looks delicious. That, I think, is your dessert on day 1. Hopefully on other days you get more of those. Another bar. So you can see you're not starved here at all. And then, let's see what we got here. A number of different little packets here. That looks like, it's vegetable powder, very specific supplements, 2 of those. Algal oil from algae for all your omegas, 2 of those. And then we've got teas, spearmint tea, and spearmint lemon tea. So I think all that actually looks pretty delicious. So that, my friends, is that. And I am going to do it. So I will keep you updated. I will update the description here. I might even actually do a video later. I think I will do an updated video of my experience. Actually, my husband and I are both going to do it. I'm really excited to see how I feel. I actually am one of those probably extremely annoying people that doesn't need or want to lose any weight at all. So when I do it, I'm going to be very, very careful that I'm not active, that I'm not going to be working out hard, because as many of you know, I work out quite a lot anyway. So I'll do it on a week when I'm just very kind of low key and hanging around and doing lots of nurturing and self-care and not sort of using up too much energy. Also, you get a big old bottle here for water, because you're going to be drinking a ton of filtered water, just sort of filtering and detoxing everything out there. So how often do you do it? Well, it is recommended that if you have health conditions, such as type 2 diabetes, or you've got a lot of weight that you want to lose, or some sort of more serious health issues, that you could do it, and it is often recommended that you do it once a month. And then, other people, if you're relatively healthy, you may do it once every 3 months or once every 6 months, but that is up to you and your doctor. That's very important that you check with your doc about that. So really, my conclusion of this is a yay, is a thumbs up, because if I can do a program, if you can do a program like this that is simply packaged for you, can be sent straight to you, under medical supervision, so it's safe, so you get all the benefits of all your health biomarkers improving in a way that's super duper safe and not horribly unpleasant. Because do remember, my friends, that going on those crazy sort of cleanses and things where you see people just drinking, maple syrup and lemon juice and water for 4 days, really unsafe, not healthy, not good for you. You're not getting nutrients. And then even juice cleanses, you're just getting a ton of sugar and no fiber. So when we think about cleanses or detoxes or fasting, we have to be really, really smart and careful. We can't play around with our health like this. We have to be very, very intentional about it. So, link to ProLon in the description to the video. They often have really good deals, and you want to grab those deals while you can, because as I said before, it's not inexpensive, but again, I just keep on saying there's a few things that I recommend to you, and those things where I say, look, this is one of those things that you pay now or you pay later, and this, I think, is one of those things. So if there's a deal to be had, it will be in the description to the video, and I will constantly update that. And I will update you as soon as my husband Joe and he's a little bit like, no, really, do I have to do it? Really? And I said, yes, because he's going to feel so amazing. So I'm really excited for him to do it. And I might even be able to twist his arm when he's done it to come on the video and do a little testimonial. But funnily enough, Catherine, who's my wonderful, co-worker, she said, I'm going to put $20 on this, but Joe is not going to do it. So let's see. I think he will. All right, so do leave me any comments below and let me know what you think, and let me know when and if you're going to do it. See you next time.
Hi, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, there are hundreds more. And please also visit my blog at sophieuliano.com for detailed reviews, recipes, DIYs, and more.